Used to be the cold just stung, bit at your fingers, kissed your nose pink. You'd light a fire, wrap up tight, and wait for morning. But this is different. It doesn't matter how many blankets you pile up, doesn't matter how many times you kick the boiler and curse the landlord's name. This cold, it gets inside. It listens to you breathing, counts the spaces between heartbeats. It waits for the little gas fire to sputter out, for the power to flicker and die, for your bones to go still in the dark. And the worst part is, no one comes. They say it's the pipes. They say it's just the weather. They say it's your own fucking damn fault for getting old. But I hear it at night, scratching at the walls, laughing when I can't get out of bed, whispering through the vents, "You don't deserve to be warm." And maybe I believe it now. Welcome to Birmingham. The year is 2019, and the winter is cold, colder than it should be. The nights stretch long and dark, tower blocks loom grey against the sky, the streets are slick with freezing rain. Across the estates, the heating cuts out without warning. Breath fogs in living rooms, black mould blooms the corners of damp bedrooms. People are hurting, people are angry. And somewhere in the cracks of this city, something stirs. Maybe you grew up here. Maybe you're scraping by. Maybe you're looking for something better. But tonight, the cold is coming for everyone. Players, tell me, where are you all right now, as the first true frost hits Birmingham? And what are you doing to keep the cold, and everything that comes with it, at bay? I'm going to open it up for anyone who would like to tell me who they are and where they are right now.
You see this woman who has the kind of patchy cinnamon skin, and like a messy, her black hair is tied up into a messy bun. It's sort of tucked around her ears as a makeshift block against the cold. You see her hurry from her place of refuge, which is the public library where she works. Her name is Annabeth, and you see her hurry along the main street towards the bar to go from one sort of warmth to another sort of warmth and try to make the best of it.
As you're kind of bustling down the street, you see at a bus stop, there's just a crowd of old age pensioners waiting on whenever this next bus is going to arrive. From the looks on their angry faces, it's probably that the one they were expecting didn't turn up. It's UK bus travel for you. You see one of them takes out a thermos, unscrews the top and pours a very hot looking coffee and shares it around with the group. And you continue to make your way towards the bar. Is anyone at the bar already? From any of our other three players? Ayfa and Ella and Lola are all at the bar already. Okay, Ayfa, your hand went first, we'll come to you.
Yes, so the bar is warm because it's full of people. So that's where you're going to find Morgan. The camera will settle down just behind them, looking over their shoulder to see what they're doing. They're rifling through their notes. They have an exam at university next week. They find it hard to focus at home. It's so damn cold. So into the bar they go. Their docks are propped up beside that hearth. The fire is going, thank God. But yeah, if you look at them, you'll see that whatever skin is actually showing is pale and goose pimpled. The rest is covered by scarves and a blanket that they snitched. A thick black bob of black hair, thick glasses, blue eyes. But yeah, they're keeping their head down for now and trying so hard to focus in on these notes.
And as you come in, you just hear a call from the bar going, I know you're trying to hide, but usual. And the bartender goes to pour a drink.
I think Axe is probably like also kind of like in a corner. But I think Axe also has this like, you know, slight fixation on Harri. So they're gonna be like wherever they can kind of be like curiously watching Harri in the way that like a teenager watches like an older adult they think is really cool and want to emulate. And so like yeah, like I am happy to go next and leave it to Harri to go last. And I think if Harri goes next, then I'll probably base what Axe is doing off what Harri is doing.
Then I guess I'll go over. Okay. So Harri is semi-curled up in a chair that they've claimed as their own. They've been to the bar quite a lot and have made friends with the people that work here. So much so that sometimes when there aren't any queens getting ready for a show or anything, the back room kind of gets left for them to curl up in the chair with their laptop in front of them. And he is basically sitting there, sitting as queerly ADHD as possible with like knees up in his chest and hunched over a laptop with headphones on over this long black and green hair, which part of it is put up as a top knot, but if you've asked him about it previously, it's definitely ironically. But other than that, he's got kind of like a baggy t-shirt that has some random patterning on it, and some combat trousers. Because, I mean, pockets. Everybody fucking loves pockets.
And what do you reckon you're working on your laptop right now?
I think it's largely casual. He has like a bunch of different projects that he's occasionally working on, sometimes with the collective, some are entirely his own, just as a fun thing. So he's probably got a game running on one part of the screen, and the other is just compiling some code.
That code runs, that game is running well, until it's not, as it kind of freezes.
We'll check what the connection is like, and then look up and perhaps look straight at you and like and just turns back to the thing. I don't know if you are looking.
Oh yeah, Axe was fully like actually staring at you and startles when you see that they're staring, and just kind of like immediately like just turns around to the bar like awkwardly, and it's like, can I get another drink, please?
Yeah, sure, same again.
Yeah, on the rocks.
No, ice and that times, sure. That'll be you know what, take it for half price. Yeah, half. If you've got any cash spare, then we're doing a collection for the food bank. Anything you can pop into the tin would be really helpful.
So I think that it's a complicated question. So Axe, probably more obviously than Z thinks, has been like sleeping rough for like a couple months, because Z got kicked out, and like they are trying really hard to project an aura of like cool and put together and don't even worry about it, everything's fine and I'm totally in control of the situation, but like she is catastrophically failing at that. So like she's buzzed her hair short, has like a bunch of piercings, a couple of like very amateur stick and pokes that like Z have done to themselves, and Z spends a lot of time here because it's a pretty safe place, and always has like 3 different hoodies on, has some cargo pants that are actually a recent addition to the outfit that are a blatant copying of Harri, which is partly obvious because they're just the wrong size and they're basically just tied up with like what is essentially a dressing gown belt, but they're trying really hard to make it look cool. Z like was already kind of fumbling for whatever spare change Z had in Z pocket, like when the bartender like makes a suggestion about donations to the food bank, and Z kind of paused with like counting out like kind of like silvers, and like, oh right, yeah, no,
it's just a suggestion. You don't have to. It's just.
No. I don't even need the drink. Actually, I'm not thirsty. So yeah.
At that point, I feel like Annabeth's gonna reach the bar and spot you and go, "Oh my god, I will have whatever she's having and just put it on my tab and then like pay for both of us."
Oh. Hi.
Hello.
Have we met?
Possibly. I don't know. I have 2 kids. We could have met. We could have met yesterday. We could have met.
I'm like 20. I'm not a kid. Like,
I'm not saying you're a kid. I'm saying I meet a lot of people because I have kids. And
right.
therefore, you could have taught my kids.
Oh, I don't. That would be a bad idea. I didn't get very good GCSEs.
Well, that doesn't mean you don't deserve a drink. And if today is any look at the weather outside. I feel like both of us deserve a drink. What are you having? What am I just ordering for myself? What did you ask for?
Well, I have what Harri has.
Who?
Oh, so there's this really cool person who like makes games and does like coding and stuff. And I kind of point to Harri.
And then like Annabeth makes a face like, right, you absolutely wouldn't fit with my kids at all. This is adult behavior. And also for a second, when you said I kind of follow whatever Harri does, like for a second Annabeth looks at you like, is Harri your imaginary friend? Like, what are you talking about?
No, they're real. They're right over there. Like, also in my protesting, I'm making it more obvious that I'm pointing.
Right, and then so I spot Harri sitting with a computer with a laptop. I go, oh yeah, with the tippy tappy of the sure.
How old are you?
That's if you're asking that question, you definitely would be better friends with my kids than me. But it's fine. You know what?
Sorry.
Okay.
I know that some people were born like before like the internet, and I wasn't.
Annabeth does not let this personal attack show on her face and takes the drink and goes and sits down at the table just like,
thank you.
That's okay, love. That's fine.
Morgan has stood and loped over, just noticing that there's some free drinks going around, but sadly too late to the party. But yeah, like kind of just slinks up beside Axe and elbows them a little bit like, you can't ask people their age like this.
Oh, is that bad?
Yeah, come on. I mean, sure, people my age, whatever. Like, Morgan is 23, very world-wise and, understands a lot about people. But not people, not older people.
I would like to say that I'm sitting near enough that I have brought out my phone and like I'm clearly looking at a list of words that my kid has told me are like current, and I'm like, I am not a stan of that.
And as those words leave, you get a message come through on your phone. And at the same time, Harri, your game completely crashes and a message comes through on your laptop.
Right. Is gonna just check the security of their system and then kind of bring up the message in like an isolated.
Okay. You see that this is a message from someone that you have heard of. You've never actually met them, but you know that they're meant to be quite a good member of the community close by. This is Lorraine, 27. She's a single mum. She runs a community pantry from her flat. And she's put up a voice note. And as Annabeth, you're looking at your phone, you see that you also have this voice note. And Morgan, your phone buzzes as well, and this voice note also arrives from Lorraine. Axe, do you have a phone on you right now?
Yeah, took it with me. I think it's pretty low juice, so I basically have it down to like essential functions at the moment, but it would be able to receive a message for sure.
Same message comes through. Do you all play it? And, I'm wondering if there's just the same voice note rings out in this one bar.
I would never play anything loudly in public. Fuck. Yeah. So
Axe immediately plays something loudly in public in front of you.
I will say that I'm going to be sitting close to them, and also I'm going to take from my mom's generation and just take out all my frustrations of that generation through my character. So yes, I'm absolutely playing it on the loudest volume possible because there's too many people around. How am I supposed to hear it without playing it so loudly?
I think the headphones haven't come off.
yeah, we got headphones too.
Okay. For those of you who play it out loud, and for as loud as it possibly can, you just hear this panic voice that comes over this voice note that's just like, hi, I don't know if this is the right place for this. It's freezing in my flat. We're at Brompston Street. Worse than usual. Boilers there again. No surprise there. Factor's not doing anything to help, but it's not just that. Last night I could hear something like it was breathing through the vents, real slow, real heavy. I thought it was the pipes groaning, but then the temperature it dropped, and I mean dropped. Breath freezing in front of me, walls cracking, and I couldn't move. Not properly. Like my arms just stopped wanting to work. Like I swear to God I could feel someone standing over me, something standing over me, watching, listening. Please, if anyone is able to, someone please check on Mrs. Hanratty down the hall. She's older, she's got no heating at all. I banged on her door this morning and no answer. I'm staying with a mate tonight. I'm not going back there alone. Someone help, please.
Axe immediately just heads out. On the way out, donates the coins that Z had into the box for the food bank, and then Faye just Yeah. And Faye just open the door and like head out like at half a run in the direction of the flat.
Morgan has realized that we're all listening to the same thing, so takes out the headphones, looks at Harri and Annabeth. I'm guessing we all got the same thing about breathing in the walls and...
I don't...
Oh, thank God. I couldn't hear it properly because of all the people in here, but for a second I thought it was one of my kids, but it's not their number, so I texted them. I didn't really hear the rest of it because I was texting them, make sure they were okay. Okay,
this is great, but Axe has just run off. So,
should probably go after them.
Hang on. Can I imagine that I've had Axe's number foisted upon me.
Oh yeah. Like 7 different times. Written on a coffee cup, written on a napkin that was left over, like just written on like various things.
So I'll dig through my pockets and maybe there's a napkin that you might have like crumpled into that and I'm just like, I'm calling.
Okay. Axe immediately picks up. How did you get this number?
You gave it to me.
Harri, you hi. Do you need something?
Yeah, come back. We need to actually make a plan.
Not Axe thinking this is a date.
Like, no, I think actually for Axe, like the real like challenge here is like on the one hand, like Faye respects Harri like so much. And on the other hand, their only experience of some supernatural shit like this was like very time sensitive. And so Z say, okay, I'm just really worried that we don't have a lot of time. I encountered some weird shit like this before, and it was really like a matter of hours.
Morgan leans over to speak into Harry's phone. Hey, come on, get back here. If you go there by yourself and you get hurt, we can't do anything for you, okay? We gotta go all together. Solidarity in numbers, come on.
Yeah,
you're not the only one, and it seems like we've all dealt with maybe something like this before. Like, just come back, just come back, and we will. Okay. The quicker you get back, the quicker we can get there.
You hear them start to run, like just like whilst they're on the phone, and then they're like, "Oh shit, I'm still on the phone." Hang up, and like just like after a few minutes, kind of come back through the door, like red-faced, sweaty, which is gonna be terrible when it cools off, and then you're in the cold with sweaty clothes. But for now, like kind of like just bursts back in again and kind of sees your beelines across the room towards Harri. And kind of like stands awkwardly in front of you instead of sitting down, unsure whether or not to sit down, like not sure what to do with herself. She's kind of like,
maybe we've like started to move out of the pub, out of the bar to like meet you outside. Well, no, it's pretty cold.
As a true student, Morgan is finishing all the drinks.
Either I've dragged the rest of you back into the back room so we could speak quietly without other people, even though everyone else may have heard that, or I've switched from my laptop to like a little handheld device instead.
I think like Annabeth's gonna have sent voice notes to her kids and also like a voice note to her sister, who's the journalist, to be like, hey, have you heard anything about this kind of thing? Like whispers in the thing.
You immediately get a text back from your kids just saying, fish and chips tonight?
Yes, I've left money for it on the something. Where I normally leave money for it.
On the counter.
Another text, just K.
Oh, the love, the concern. I love being a mum. Love it.
You see that your sister has seen the message, but there's no response right now.
Have any of you met or like spoken to Lorraine before? How does she have your numbers?
Well, I've met her, but I didn't think she had my number. You know, she runs that food pantry.
I mean, I work at the public library. Like, I organize a lot of their events and stuff. She could have gotten my number pretty easily one of those times.
I've never met her, but seen her around.
Yeah.
So, are we going to go check on this lady?
Is
Yeah.
Harri, are you thinking this is like a trap or something? Like it's kind of sus that she.
I'm just kind of concerned, but because my laptop doesn't do that. My laptop doesn't do that. Is there a way to check into it any more than that? Or is it a kind of, we need to go and get information from the source?
So I feel like I've asked my sister to look into it. So, like, if there are any recent news reports or whatever about it, then we could hear it. Does anyone have any, like, law enforcement ties? Or, of course not.
Doesn't sound like this group would have that.
Yeah, it's true.
What I would say is two things will happen. Is you'll get a text back from your sister just saying, Brompton, I hear they've been complaining to their factor problems with boilers. It's low priority in the news, but I mean, they're coming to me. At the same time, Harri, you get like tapped on the shoulder as one of the drag queens that is just coming in to get ready. Just like, you talking about Lorraine?
Yeah. You know her?
Well, I've not seen her in a couple of weeks, but like the last time I spoke to her and the last time I popped in just to like drop off a donation, they did say that there's been some problems with the pipes, like people having like weird things happen to radiators, and just seems a bit odd, but I'm sure it's just the boiler.
Right. Thanks.
Yeah,
I take it you need this room. Well, we'll look at the others. We'll head off, and yeah.
And stay safe out there. Like, they keep telling us to layer up, but like only so much that the cold keeps out.
Yeah. Break leg.
Always do.
Axe is watching this whole interaction with just like, you know, metaphorical stars in their eyes. Like, is he just like so impressed by being this close to any of the drag queens that like perform here, and also the way that Harri is like talking to her, like so chill and like not even like a little bit like starstruck, that like just so like, wow.
Could I get you in that case then to, for folks watching, we're playing Mad as Hell, and we have 3 different stats. We have solidarity, conspiracy, and militancy. If anyone rolls on this, they'll roll 2d6 and add their appropriate modifier, and a 9 and above is a success. I'm going to ask you, please, Ella, if for Axe you could roll a conspiracy to try and not be seen.
I have 0 in conspiracy. And that is a 4.
The queen will just like see you watching and say, "Would you like a photo?"
Oh, yeah. If that's like okay or whatever. Like, I don't know if it's like appropriate, but like I mean, yeah, like yeah.
Elbows Axe beside the drag queen. Takes Axe's phone. Can I take a picture with this? What is happening with his phone?
Oh, it's just in power saving mode. Could you maybe take a picture on your phone and send it to me?
Yeah, sure.
Harri will dig out a power bank and just kind of hand it over semi-silently.
As you put down Axe's phone to take out your own to take a photograph, what no one sees except us as viewers is just the words appear on the screen that says, "You don't deserve to be warm," as the phone dies.
Ominous. But anyway, we didn't notice that. Moving on.
Yeah. I mean, Axe is gonna take the power bank and like again be very struck, and then kind of like do that thing that like people do in pictures with someone else where they don't know what to do with their body and their arms, and so Axe is just kind of like and it ends up just like standing really straight and kind of stiff,
just
like
like here. Can I take your arm?
Uh-huh.
Okay, put it around my waist.
Are you sure?
Just do the hover hand.
Okay.
And I'll do the same.
Uh-huh.
And I'll look at the camera and smile.
Perfect. You're
Great.
gorgeous.
Wow. Thanks.
I'm not even ready yet. I mean, no one gets to see that normally.
That's
You're
pretty
gorgeous
cool.
now, just as you are.
You don't need to tell me that.
I know.
Okay, guys, let's let the nice lady get ready.
And it Axel bounce up to Morgan and just be like, thank you.
Anytime, babes. Let's go.
With that, if you all head out into the cold, stepping out of the door to the Queen's Court, you just feel as the wind blasts into your face, as snow starts to fall.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Making your way to Brompton, which is not too far of a walk from here. You'll be walking in that kind of half snow, half slush sort of layering on the ground. It is getting towards the sun going down fully. It's starting to get dark, and as you make your way towards Brompton Street, it is block E4 is where Lorraine lives. And as you're getting closer to it, would anyone have visited this pantry before? So Axe, you've been here before. Yeah. So you will have seen that this before has seemed like a quite well-maintained building from a kind of tenant point of view. They like where they stay and they try to keep it in good condition. But something's different. It just doesn't feel quite right, as though something here has, for want of a better word, died. The door is swinging off its hinge. One still attached, one not, and it's making a horrible creaking noise as it moves back and forward. As you get closer, it slams shut, and you see that where it would say E4, the E has fallen off. You just see 4.
Just gonna kind of step closer to Harri and be like, I've been here before and it wasn't like this.
Is there like a sense of anything that other than this ominous foreboding and the like, is there anything that would kind of trigger recognition or something that might prompt something for Harri to...
Yeah, you can make an observation check, which would be 2d6 but with no modifiers, and a success here is 8 rather than 9.
It's a 6.
You just see that there are blackened bricks that seem to be weathering in the rain, and as though this building has gone through a kind of elder neglect very quickly. Windows staring out like dead eyes.
Is
Other
there
than that,
any
sure.
at the windows?
Any people at the windows? No, you can't see that. You can see a couple of lights on, but the lights are quite dim.
Nobody else is around?
Not really. It's the sort of place where it's snowing and it's cold. Most people are trying to stay as warm as they can.
Well, Lorraine said she's not here tonight, so maybe we should just check in on that lady that she asked us to.
Mrs. Hanratty.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you remember which
She just said she was down the hall. She didn't say a number, I think.
I know where Lorraine's flat is.
The mailboxes, just to
Yeah.
see if there's a Hanratty anywhere on the doors.
This is a 24 flat block, and you can see that on floor 3, flat D is Mrs. Hanratty, and 3A was Lorraine.
Okay.
I think we'll look at the others and then indicate to ring for her, or we just go in. Is the door still open? Like it swung shut, but you said it was off its hinges before.
One of the hinges isn't quite attached, so if you were to pull, it will just open.
Kind of don't want to barge in on an older lady in the middle of this. So
Yeah.
I'll just ring the bell.
You don't hear any indication that it has rung.
Okay. Guess we go in.
Does it look like this door would have been one of the ones that had like a maglock or something, and it's just completely...
Yeah, this is the sort of one you would expect would be magnetically shut, but it's not, as though that mechanism has been switched off.
I think the power's off.
It's not great.
Any of you got a... In fact, we'll dig in pockets and has a torch.
Yeah.
Just in case it is necessary.
Annabeth?
Yeah, Annabeth, were you going to come in with something now?
Oh, I was just gonna say that Annabeth will like put her hands towards the edge of the door, so I feel like if there's cold air, like colder air is coming out from inside, or it's like warmer inside than it is outside. So whether there's basically trying to see whether there's still like a warm human inside.
Okay. I would get you to make me another observation check, if you wouldn't mind. So that's just 2d6 with no modifier.
7.
Even with a 7, I'm going to tell you that it is colder inside.
Okay.
The snow grows stronger.
Are there any windows into the flat that we can see?
I would say that it's probably quite difficult for you to tell which one would be 3D based on where you are outside. So it's 3 floors up, you're not quite sure.
But is there anywhere on floor 3 that has is that one of the ones that has like weak light on?
No.
Or no? Okay.
Morgan shivers. It's getting way too cold, guys. Can we
Yeah.
just get this over and done with?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Let's do it.
Who goes in last?
I'm gonna say, as the person playing the single mum, I probably go last, just characteristically.
Morgan will go first. They're a headstrong, very wise person.
I think Axe looks to whether Harri wants to go next or not, and Axe is going to follow their lead.
Yeah.
Okay.
Harri will go
Annabeth,
next.
as you head into the building, everyone else moving in, you just hear a crackling from where the intercom would be for the buzzer. And it just says, I'm so cold.
What? Does it appear on the intercom? Like, does the flat where it's coming from light up or anything? No.
No, it's not. It doesn't indicate that.
Is there like a push to talk button?
You would have to call someone specifically, and they have to pick up on their end rather than push to talk from yours.
So I would just go for whatever we think Mrs. Haradi's flat is and press that button. Are you okay? Hello? Is
The crackling comes up again. Someone please get me out of here.
don't worry. It's gonna be all right. Help is on the way.
It's in the walls.
Morgan's gonna call back. Annabeth, come on.
Annabeth's like sort of caught between wanting to not abandon the voice and like help is on the way, and then like follows after everybody else.
The door slams heavy shut behind you.
Is it still openable?
You're a little bit further on.
Whilst we're walking, Axe is like nervously chattering. And as they are saying, you know how like Channel 4 has that like estate is like their logo, like their ident on like TV and stuff. So that's like a real estate, but actually, you know how it's all like covered in trash and there's like bins outside and stuff? They actually did that to the photo on filming day because the estate was just like normal and nice, and then they deliberately put a bunch of bins and trash outside it to make it like look like what people are supposed to like, whatever, like people's prejudices, and I think that's just really fucked up. Yeah, and this is
Counted on to do that.
yeah. Fun fact from Ella, that's true. Anyway, sorry. Fine. Anyway, back in the fiction.
Is it easy to find the stairs in this building?
Yeah, if you follow down the corridor, it will split off into one door on the left, one door on the right that leads to the first group of flats. There is a staircase and there is an elevator.
I was gonna ask if there's like any annoying sign from, you know, like building management, like those A4 sheets that are taped up places about something or the other, probably something annoying, but has contact details for the people who manage the building.
Yes, there would be. So there are a number of posters up from the factor, mostly saying that space heaters are not permitted in the building, and alongside the phone number to call them for raising any complaints or to deal with your bill.
So Annabeth's gonna take a photo of the contact information, or take note of it. Yeah.
You have the stairs, you have the elevator.
Stairs.
Yeah.
Is there a way to kind of can I use conspiracy for on my thing? Like, is there some kind of sense that I'm getting of like I don't Harri doesn't trust anything here, but it's very much like
I think like also like as we get to the choice between stairs and elevator, Axe has chronic pain and some days they use crutches. They haven't been today, but the cold makes the pain a lot worse, and being outside in the snow has made it a lot worse. And Zia like limping a little bit even before we get to the elevator. So by the time we get to the elevator, like Z kind of see Morgan go for the stairs, and like she's like hesitating. She kind of would rather use the elevator if she could, but
yeah, Morgan will look back over her shoulder. They've seen like Axe in the bar a good amount of times. They've probably spoken a few times now, and they've seen them with crutches. So Morgan stops himself a little bit, being like, shit. Maybe some of us could take the elevator.
yeah, but maybe it.
I mean,
Yeah.
is there any way we can help? Would you like help up?
I mean,
Would it help to wear more warm clothes? Sometimes that helps me.
The elevator dings.
that's ominous. I didn't press the button.
None of us did.
Okay, someone's coming down.
kind of stumble back a bit from the elevator.
Morgan doesn't move, just standing right in front of the elevator. Just like, come on.
Annabeth's gonna put an arm around Axe to just like kind of like warm up your arms like this. If not mom friend, why mom friend? Shit.
Would you like to roll me a solidarity roll, please, Annabeth?
Sure. With pleasure. What is my... Ooh, 12.
Okay, with a 12, you are bringing that mom-shaped mum into this space and trying to bolster spirits a little in what is quite a difficult situation that some of you seem quite suspicious and stressed of. So everyone seems to rally around you for a moment, even if they don't fully recognise it themselves. There's a newfound respect for Annabeth right now. And with that, the elevator doors swing open, and stepping out, you see this early 40s man in a suit wearing like a quite thick hat on, holding a clipboard. He's like, good evening, tenants of the building. I'm just checking in with everyone to see how we're all doing.
Cold.
Tenants of the building, though, was the question I asked you.
Oh,
Yeah.
my mum.
Yeah, go ahead.
My mum lives in on floor 2.
Go ahead and roll me conspiracy, please.
I feel like this is a great time for Annabeth to launch into like full on how dare you allow people to live like this mode, and just kind of like, excuse me, are you really here to police people who are standing out in the cold when you can't even keep the residents warm? Can you please continue your actual job and check on the people you're supposed to? We are trying to do part of your job for you. Now, please go ahead. We will follow you. We'll follow behind you to see if our loved one is okay, while you just stand here asking ridiculous questions.
First of all, what was your role?
I got a 10.
Okay.
No, wait. I rolled a 9, so it's a 11.
Okay, that is a success. So his eyeline will break from yours, believing what you've said, and turn to Annabeth and say, "Hey, excuse me, it's a bit of an overreaction, right?
Don't think it is.
Temperatures dip, boilers creak. Not our fault.
Yeah, my mum says it's been cold for a while.
Yeah, it's cold everywhere.
Come on, if you can't get your own heating to work, then what are you doing?
Tenants need to keep up with their basic maintenance. That's in their leases. Space heaters are a fire risk."
I think maybe some people would
And
probably
whereabouts do
enjoy some
you
fire
live?
right about now.
Is that a threat?
No. I'm just wondering, do you have full control of your heating, and does your landlord make sure that it's all working?
I'm not I own my own place. People just need to pull their bootstraps up.
Oh, sure they do, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just
So from what I've been hearing, the boiler and the heating hasn't been working for several months. So as far as I understand it, in the contracts, like you're not meeting your obligations for maintenance because there have been several, notices put up and several requests by tenants. So I can see you're here. Clearly, you're trying to do some of your job, but
we've had some complaints from people to say about frost. It's condensation. People just need to open a window.
So
in this cold, in the winter, do you open your windows in the winter?
No, he's got
okay.
that bootstrap heat.
Maintenance. Yeah, exactly, bootstrap heat.
Anyway, Annabeth's gonna stand like blocking the stairwell going down, and being like, I am going to talk to your manager, and sort of like make a big show of taking out my phone and calling someone, I don't know, and then basically so that with the general sense that he will try to get away from the random complainy person and so go upstairs.
Could you go ahead and roll me militancy, if you wouldn't mind, which is your kind of will to commit necessary violence.
Oh no, 6.
He will like see you trying to block his path and say, "Madam, please."
It's just
Step
well
out.
argued, really well argued. Madam, please, this is what you
Step-
have to say to me. Do you know how many people there are
Can I-
who are absolutely freezing? Why can't you just go and check? You were in the middle of doing your job, surely. What did you find out? Where are you coming from just now?
Apparently there was an old lady like who was feeling a little cold, but well, she's old, circulation's not great, health thing, not a housing thing. And I know everyone seems to be a little on edge, but all I know currently is just one person who lives here. No one else has told me that they live here. So,
Did you get a chance to speak to her?
no, she wouldn't answer the door.
Right. Is that the truth? As in, I'm not asking him if that's the truth. Is that the truth?
You'd like to-
Well, no. As in, does my bracelet tighten at all?
Ooh,
or
sure.
is it,
And, remind us what your bracelet is.
So I have a friendship bracelet
Mhm.
that it's one of those old ones that, like, kids used to sit and make in school. Everyone's really like happy about getting to know the latest patterns with the knots and crisscrossing over and everything. And it's something that was given to me by someone that I trusted. Until I didn't. But it's slightly worn. And when someone lies to me, it tightens. It's almost like a warning.
Yeah, you feel it tighten around your wrist.
I think, like, as this is all happening and, like, Annabeth, has this, like, kind of confrontation, but it's clear that this guy isn't responding to her, Axe kind of steps forward and straightens a little, like, they'd been hunching a little bit because they were feeling sore, but, like, they'd straighten now, and they lift their chin, and Z give this guy, like, the coldest, most soulless look of the most brutal, morally bankrupt conservative politician you could imagine. Like, very much a sneer that they have learned how to imitate. And they kind of put their hands in their pockets and say, so, just to be clear, I assume you're doing damage control so that you're not legally liable for, I don't know, like criminal neglect, because if people die here, then whether or not your company is actually guilty of that, the reputational damage plus the subsequent council investigation that would be legally necessary would not be ideal for your international profit margins, especially in terms of convincing like other cities and councils to allow you to manage other estates, especially if there wasn't just one death but like more than one death, which honestly at this point is pretty probable considering it's been several months of ongoing sub-zero temperatures, which are, among other things, likely to induce like chilblains, let alone hypothermia, pneumonia, especially considering the damp, condensation, and I'm assuming a lot of mold. And if your only suggestion is opening the window, well, let's just say that'll make people die faster. So is this kind of a situation where you need us not to be witnesses, or is it a situation where maybe we just go on our way and you go on yours and you count your lucky stars that no one's putting your face on the front of a newspaper being the guy who kills old ladies?
I'm not even going to get you to roll. That is just, like, fully success just based on the roleplay. The old lady was not for responding. I checked with a neighbour, and they said that, yeah, things seem bad. I've left a leaflet of keeping warm on a budget. I've done my due diligence.
And hey, listen, I'm sure that you'll be quoted on that. We're gonna go now. And Axe just storms past.
You want to help? Just don't go poking around where you don't belong.
Do you have a master key?
Not on me. I didn't bring that with. Didn't believe to be entering any premises.
Okay.
I'm just so warmed by the display of competence.
Yeah, we're gonna do a welfare check. Is there anything, like, given that we've been simultaneously dragging his attention away, is there anything on the clipboard that can be observed by standing quite close whilst everyone else is talking that maybe hasn't noticed?
Go ahead and make me an observation check, but roll with the upper hand. So you're going to roll 3d6 and drop the lowest one.
Right. I wish. Okay, well, I can drop the 1, thank you. So got 2 4s, so I got an 8.
So that is a success on an observation check. So you take a look at his clipboard, and you can see that there are notes on individuals trying to keep warm in different ways. He has taken note of some of the flats who have been like stockpiling on tea. And trying to just like keep the kettles boiled. That seems to keep the heat in and the cold out. One of the flats had a portable gas heater, which he told them to switch off. And their flat seemed to be in a little bit of a different condition to other people's, as though the frost wasn't encroaching on them in quite the same way.
Okay. And is there any indication of how many people are actually still left in the building?
As far as he's been able to speak to, 5 flats with people still in. If you include the one flat that he wasn't able to speak to.
Are they all on the same floor, or?
He has 1 on the first floor, 2 on the second, 1 on the third, and then 1 on the fourth.
Is the one on the third Lorraine's flat or the Mrs. Hanratty's?
Mrs. Hanratty is the one he's not been able to speak to.
And is there?
You said he spoke to a neighbor, though.
Yeah, just not on the same floor.
Ah, okay.
With I guess it's not. There's no way to indicate whether like they're older or younger or whatever.
Not from the notes that he's put
okay.
in, no.
Okay.
No comment on their circulation?
Which flat had the heating?
That was on the 4th floor, right at the top.
Wow. Right. Okay. Okay. Right.
What radicalized you, this guy?
Yeah.
Might I? I'll be on my way then. Can I check? Like, do any of you live here except for you?
They're my guests. Don't worry, we won't be spending that long.
Yeah,
Please
can we not
don't.
visit?
You can visit. Just be careful.
You know,
Yeah,
warmth
great.
in numbers, as
We
they
will.
say.
We will bloody well visit. And Morgan's going to just push forward.
As like they did when they entered the building, Annabeth's going to be the last to climb upstairs. Or are we taking the stairs or taking the lift?
Axe got in
think
the
we
lift,
take the
but
lift.
Okay, yeah. So either way, Annabeth's going to turn back to the guy as he's leaving and say, "Sorry, just one last question. Do you think they deserve to be warm?"
You mean the people who live here?
Yeah.
If they try hard enough.
So no.
Shut the door behind him.
Is there like a Was there like a name anywhere on this form, or on like a you know how sometimes they have like a little lapel thing to identify themselves?
He had a lanyard on that just said C. Hensley.
C. Hensley, and works for the company on the...
Yeah, the local building factor.
You're looking that person up later?
Several strongly worded letters coming his way.
Maybe a bit more than that.
Yeah.
Malware time.
Yeah.
Do you all enter the elevator?
Morgan's going to take the stairs a few steps at a time.
Annabeth's gonna go with Axe out of mum friend obligation.
I think I don't want to leave Morgan alone, but I was also gonna.
It's all good.
Yeah. No, I don't think that it's a good idea for any of us to be like.
Alone. Were you gonna take the lift?
I would have come with you if we were all going in the lift, but Harri was never comfortable taking it in the first place.
Yeah.
So we'll kind of head off to Morgan, but I'll be like, I'll see you at the top. You have my number.
Yeah, yeah.
In case anything happens, right? Yeah. And we'll dash off to Morgan.
As the elevator door shut, I kind of ruffle in my pockets and plug the power bank that Harri gave me into my phone to try and start charging it enough that it'll turn on again.
You just see the little battery thing come on that says it's starting to charge. Sorry, were you in this elevator on your own?
I know, I'm with Annabeth.
Annabeth is there as well, okay. You start to head towards the top, heading towards the 4th floor. Strange, the elevator, unlike the rest of the building, which had kind of frost along the walls, and if you were to look closely, you could see black mold starting to fix itself. Elevator doesn't seem to have that. The elevator seems to be in good working condition. The lights are on, it's warmer, it's moving between. You have a moment if you're all, if you're taking the time to move through.
Thanks for. You seem like a really good person.
I don't know where you're getting that from, but always nice to hear. I thought what you said to that, let's call him a man, was very, very cool. I'm very impressed.
Full on the moment of when you're a very young adult in your early 20s, he only turned 20 recently, and trying really hard not to show that he's quite flustered and pleased about getting approval from an older adult, and oh yeah, this happens all the time, but also is really, really, really pleased about it. And it's just oh yeah, thanks.
I will say Annabeth has teenagers, so will not make a big thing about the compliment. We'll just be yep. And look away.
And it's awkward silence for a moment whilst the elevator's going up, and then just and then Axe kind of goes, it's weird that this is it's it's protected from whatever's happening to the rest of the building.
I suppose that explains why in a building without power, Mr. Clipboard was taking the lift.
Yeah, and also he's not entirely unaware of it, maybe.
Yeah.
There's something about...
I never...
Well, I don't know, people can be really shit, but also there's something about the way he kind of kept using those kind of stock phrases, the bootstraps thing. Sometimes there are things that wear the faces of more ordinary evil, but are a different kind of thing.
Two things happen.
Mm.
Annabeth, you feel a buzz in your pocket from your phone. You have a missed call from your sister. The other thing that happens is the doors to the elevator open. You're on floor 2. And just standing outside, you just see a small boy, no shoes on. And then the doors close again. And it continues on.
What? I pressed the 2 button.
Yeah.
Like, did he seem like a human, like a living human boy?
Yeah, just a little, maybe 10 years old boy.
I know this might be a silly question, but did he seem cold?
I would say in the time that you saw, there was not much time to take in anything other than there's a boy standing with no shoes on outside of the elevator because you're looking at your phone, and then the doors close again as you see that. You arrive at 4, the doors open. You've hit 2. Do you want to go back?
Yeah, and is my phone back on?
It is probably at the point that you could turn it on as long as it remains plugged in.
Okay, I'm going to turn it on and text Harri and just say, investigating floor 2, and stay in the elevator. I'm going to say to Annabeth, if that's a real kid, we need to get him inside. It's snowing. He shouldn't be barefoot.
Yeah, no, I agree. I'm coming with you. I'm not letting a kid I'm coming with you. And I will say that once you two have exchanged numbers, I feel like Annabeth's character would definitely set up a group chat on WhatsApp. It is part of my culture, guys. It has to happen. It's gonna happen. And I'm sorry for the good morning messages I'm gonna send you from now on.
I have a question for the more militant people in the group. Are you on WhatsApp or are you on Signal?
Signal always.
Fine, Signal group. God.
The doors close again as the elevator comes back down to 2. You've sent off that text. Harri does not get it as the doors open and there is no kid there.
Just step outside and start calling out, like, hey, you okay, kiddo? Hello? Start, walking down the corridor, knocking on doors, just kind of being like, hey, is everything okay?
You don't hear any response.
Maybe he lives on another floor. Maybe he was going to see a friend. I hope he lives in this building. As cold as it is, at least it means he's not wandering outside barefoot.
We should take the stairs and kind of move to the stairwell.
As you step out of the elevator into this floor, you feel like the air here is wrong. Like a kind of heavy, wet, metallic. It's almost like you're breathing through a damp rag. The next thing that kind of hits is the smell. Like mildew, like long boiled cabbage, something sweet and rotting deeper inside.
So floor 2 or floor 3?
Floor 2. Somewhere further off, a pipe groans. Like an old sigh.
I try to call Harri.
I'm going to get you to make me a solidarity roll for that one, if you wouldn't mind.
Oh, gee. That is there's a 10 before I add stats, and stat is +1, I believe. Yeah, 11.
11. So an 11 is a success. You hit call, and in the stairwell, Harri, your phone goes.
Yeah. I will immediately look at it and go to hit. Like, it's coming through as the same number as Axe gave me, right? Yeah. We'll answer.
Hey, something really weird is happening on the second floor. Me and Annabeth are here. We saw a kid without shoes on, but now there's a weird smell, weird sounds. There's a feeling in the air. I know this sounds stupid, but
Are you by the stairs?
yeah, like we're near the elevator, near the stairwell.
How far have I caught up with Morgan?
I would say that Morgan would be further on ahead a little bit within the stairwell, and Morgan, you're probably almost at floor 2.
They're on 2. We'll kind of shout up, say they're on 2, be careful. And we'll try and hurry up to catch them. But it's like meet us at the stairs on the phone.
Okay.
Morgan, you are almost at floor 2. You're turning the stairs to look up towards where the door would be, and you just see a small boy looking down at you, who just says, "I don't deserve to be born."